Hey, what's up, people? This is Ronald Calix. I came here to talk about a few stuff. I came here to talk about, let's see. I came here to talk about Over the Limit. I think the pay-per-view was very exciting. I think the match was great. It was, the pay-per-view was awesome. I mean, some, matches were a little slightly disappointing. I have to say, to be a little nice, they could have did better than that. I think they were capable of showing why Over the Limit was Over the Limit, and that's why they named the pay-per-view, and I don't think they showed why the name was Over the Limit. In case probably people have been wondering, I'm playing the Black Eyed Peas remake of Joints and Jams on the new album, The End. They had the song Joints and Jams originally in '98 on their first album, Behind the Front. I don't know, maybe people who knew their first album before Fergie joined, but more importantly, they remade the song Joints and Jams, and it's on their new album, The End, called That's the Joint. But to get back on what I'm saying, I think the match was great. Hold on. I think some of the matches were great. Kofi Kingston and Drew McIntyre was a great match. I think Kofi Kingston showed determination of getting his title back. The counter of his match was great, and I think it was great. Drew McIntyre lost the Intercontinental Championship. I don't know how he's going to get back since he's the chosen one. He's probably going to get Mr. McMahon to get the title back, but I didn't think Teddy Long was going to give it back to him because he legitimately lost. It wasn't like he stripped him from the title because he continued to attack Matt Hardy and then he got fired. Then 1 week after, he just returned. So I kind of had a feeling Drew McIntyre may return. I had a feeling he was going to return that night to get his title back, or he was going to come in and attack Kofi Kingston or something like that, but it was still unexpected for some audiences for him to return, but I knew it was storyline or it was planned. But the match Over the Limit was exciting. It was awesome to see Kofi Kingston, a new superstar coming to WWE, and Drew McIntyre, another new superstar. I think he was around recently, but I know he was a new superstar, and them two going at it. I think they put on a great match. The match was evenly matched, even though Kofi Kingston won. It was two equal, two of them in the same weight class, and I think that's what made wrestling interesting, because they probably had the same abilities, same tactics. So the match was very interesting. I kind of like it. I think that was one of the best matches on pay-per-view. They did a good opening. I think that match went over the limit. And the second match that came on was CM Punk and Rey Mysterio. I think the match with CM Punk and Rey Mysterio was a lot of suspense. I thought Rey Mysterio would lose, and I thought CM Punk would win. That's what I was expecting. But if CM Punk did win, they could have built more on his villainous gimmick, and it really discussed the crowd more. I think his Straight Edge Society alliance was very interesting. It's very interesting to see him build more on his heel gimmick, but I think he did a little too much recruiting two other members, and I think the woman getting recruited, I think it made it even that there were two straight edge saviors. He probably reaching the multi-gender, but with Rey Mysterio getting recruited, there'd probably be more people, but what would his next rival be? I didn't think CM Punk should have got his head shaved bald. I kind of like his hair. I mean, he could continue with his hair and continue going on with other feuds, maybe Randy Orton or John Morrison. But it would have been interesting if he feuded with MVP. But even though after the match, after Rey Mysterio won, I think, I don't know why Kane interfered. I thought MVP would have got involved with the match because I know he also has a feud with CM Punk. But it was still interesting. Kane came in to fend off the attack of the Straight Edge Society, CM Punk's crew, so Rey Mysterio could cuff CM Punk and shave his head bald. But the match was awesome. I mean, there was a lot more suspense in the match. I mean, it went equal ways. I thought Rey Mysterio would have an advantage at the beginning and lose, but if CM Punk had the advantage at the beginning, well, he did have the advantage, and then Rey managed to turn around and pull the upset pin. That was very original. I think that match was over the limit. That's what showed what Over the Limit was about, and that has to be one of the best matches, I'm telling you. The next match, Randy Orton and Edge. I think Randy Orton and Edge was a great match over the limit, but I think the attack at the barricade was a little surprising because Randy Orton's injured arm. They probably wanted Randy Orton to win his storyline, but I think Edge could have just settled off and won the match, even though Randy Orton injured his arm and just carry on through the storyline. So I felt that the match was good. I mean, it was good, interesting. There are another even match superstars, two mid-class heavyweights, or Yeah, you could say heavyweights, and I think that was a great pay-per-view, very awesome and exciting, and it was kind of interesting. To get on to the world champion, Jack Swagger versus the Big Show. I have to say that match was kind of disappointing. I didn't like the conclusion of the match that Jack Swagger disqualified himself. I think there could have been more on Jack Swagger's gimmick when he said he beat the Big Show, and I think they could have continued like disgusting the crowd and annoying them. And I have to say I like Jack Swagger. He's like one of my favorite heels, one of the few heels I like, and I like his character that he's overachieving. And if I was younger, he would have been a role model. It would have been a great role model for me to achieve that stuff, the all-American. But I'm old. But hey, I still get influenced by his attitude. I still like his attitude because he has like a giant history since 5 years old to now. And I think he could have built more on his gimmick, beating the Big Show. And I think Big Show could have probably gotten the Fatal 4-Way, but it's going to be a Fatal 4-Way. But I like the new pay-per-view concept. With that said, Randy Batista and John Cena in the I Quit match. I think the match is kind of interesting match to watch. The I Quit match. I know I've been talking about it a little bit too soon, but I think the I Quit match was great. But I think the problem was John Cena's character was cliche when he said, "Oh, I'm not gonna quit," and he lived by his promise. I think his character is like he warms up too much to the crowd when he promises that he won't quit, but I think it's kind of influence for the kids to really push yourself and stuff like that. I think that's the purpose of that type of character. They're trying to warm up to younger fans of WWE. And I think John Cena has, I think the toughness of the I Quit match was kind of great. I kind of like I Quit matches because they have to say you quit, but it would be tough for the tongue to slip out and say I quit if you go through like a tough submission. And then they have to give up and stuff like that. So, but the end of the match was kind of unique. When Batista was about to get thrown off, he says he quit, and then Batista said, "Oh, he did some despicable stuff throughout the past 3 matches." And I think the end of the match was kind of surprising that he gets thrown through the barricade. And I think it kind of made sense for him to quit because why is it going to continue through injury? So. The match was great, but with that said, Ted DiBiase and R-Truth, the match was great, but I thought Ted DiBiase would win. Virgil got more involved in the match, like grab R-Truth or yank him down after I think he should have got somewhat involved in the match, because I think that's the purpose of it being Virgil, the bodyguard, and I thought Ted DiBiase would have won, but they try and build more of R-Truth's gimmick, and I don't think R-Truth's annoying. He's very entertaining. I like him. He's very warm up, and I think I like his character R-Truth. His real name like Ron Killing, so it kind of fit with him. Very original and unique with the name R-Truth. So with that said, the Divas match, Eve Torres and Maryse. I think Maryse, many people wanted Maryse to win because she's more of a real tough competitor, and she's like her character is more like aggressive, and then she's like more wrestling material. And Eve Torres, very flashy. She's more of a model than a wrestler. I think they should have built Eve Torres' character more into more flashy, and at the same time she has that wrestling attitude. Like she has more wrestling aggression. She's like gal and ready to compete, because I think her image is not really wrestling material. It's more like posing like a supermodel, but her wrestling moves are still great. I think they should build up the character more into a main eventer, and I think her character is actually a bit impressive, and I think her wrestling moves are impressive. That even Torres beats Maryse, and then if Maryse wins, even Torres can just continue her determination of getting the title back, and I think that would be a great image of a great build-up on Eve Torres, and I think that could have built her up more than just defending the title. But I do like the fact that Eve Torres is Divas champion. They try to build more on her finishing move, but I think one of the people have a problem is that she has more than one finishing move, but I think she should stick to one finishing move, or she should just have a signature move and then it builds on her finishing move. So Over the Limit was kind of disappointing. They could have did better. They're more capable of building Over the Limit, and I think they should have went over the limit by building more better matches than just ordinary single matches, and then they just turn out, not what you expected. And I think it kind of ruined the purpose of going over the limit. So The Rain Dog Extreme. I talk so much, but it's an awesome match. So peace out.